I'm here with Ray de Villiers, who's a consultant with Tomorrow Today, professional speaker and expert on the future world of work.
And I'm here with Nikki Bush, who is a talent whisperer and expert on the future of your child.
Ray is going to be speaking at the upcoming event that I'm hosting at Henley Business School on raising young talent for the new world of work. So Ray, I thought it would be a really great thing to have a quick chat about some of the trends that are shaping how we think about talent. And by the way, Ray and I also co-authored an ebook called Talent Redefined. And one of the things that we talk about often, Ray, is the fact that the professions are changing.
Yeah.
And when we talk about parents thinking about the future for their children, we're still very stuck on the fact that doctor, lawyer, accountant, engineer are still the pinnacle of success for the future. How do you think about that?
Through the middle of the 20th century, we began to focus more and more on the professions. So actually become a doctor, become an accountant, become a lawyer. But here's the interesting thing, is all of those professions decrafted the workplace and turned it...
That's a lekker made up word there, decraft.
There we go. Hey, that's exactly what consultants are paid to do. We're paid to make up words. But kind of took the craft out of the work, out of the way people were supposed to work, and made it all about knowledge and information.
Yes, and that was held by very few people.
Exactly, and that was the profession.
Yeah.
So you were a professional if you had that information.
And you were very safe.
Totally. But here's what's happened now, is knowledge is the one thing that is most easily commoditized by the digital economy.
And it's becoming free.
Absolutely.
So even the fact that you and I are purveyors of knowledge, that knowledge is becoming more and more accessible and available to more people.
And so again, using you and I as examples, what it actually begins to come down to is not what knowledge and information you have, but how effective are you at crafting,
at manipulating
and I'm going to make another word here, artifying that knowledge and that information, so that it's not just the raw professional information, but there's something that comes through with it. And I really think that what we're seeing is this reversal back to that perspective that dominated the early 20th century, when it was about go and get a trade. So a new type of trades. So
new trades are going to emerge.
Yeah, new trades. So and trades because that's the only point of reference that we have in terms of a word or a concept. So I don't think it's going to be the same way that it was if you wanted to become a motor mechanic or a fitter and turner or something like that. But there will be a similar way of thinking, where it's about getting the information is not just enough. You have to have evidence of skill and ability
to apply that information,
to be able to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we will put you into a process that will enable the developing of that, rather than you're just going to go to university, get a degree, and many of the guys then had to go through and do articles and that type of stuff afterwards. But still, essentially, when they stepped out of university, articles was cheap labor. It wasn't always a development space.
So what would your message to parents be in terms of what should your child study?
Anything that can't be done more effectively by a computer.
So looking at things where we have creativity.
Intuition, insight, life experience.
And keeping your undergraduate qualification as broad as possible?
Absolutely. And not only that, I would go so far as to say even potentially rethink university. University may not be or formal tertiary education may not actually be the best place for today's young digital natives to actually get the education that they need to be effective in the workplace. Massive open online courses that allow them to...
Yeah, those are called MOOCs, by the way, if you ever come across the term MOOCs.
MOOCs, yeah. That allow them to pick and choose the content that they want. Using a just-in-time approach. And again, you spoke about temporary. That understands that knowledge and information is temporary. It has a lifespan. It has a shelf life.
And a very short horizon these days, because we used to talk about 10 years being kind of like 5 to 10 years being medium term. That's now old.
Totally. Yeah. So and that's the thing, is it's information becomes redundant very quickly. Knowledge becomes redundant very quickly. So in terms of the way that we're going to educate ourselves, we need to be focusing more on the how rather than the what. So there's a phrase that's beginning to do the rounds. They talk about unschooling. And basically what it is, it's challenging the traditional way that schooling has been done. Where what schooling does is schooling focuses on getting information across to a child and saying, this is the base information. If you've got this information, then you can move on to secondary and tertiary. But really what ends up happening is it ends up being a bit of a force-feeding
approach.
And we're just lucky that our children aren't geese, because we might end up with foie gras sitting in grade 1 classrooms, because that's the way they get force-fed. And what unschooling is doing is saying we need to shift our focus from the information that has historically been the reference point or the focus point of teaching, and we need to focus more on the characteristics and the competencies that individuals need to thrive in a world where we don't know what they're actually going to need. Totally.
Yeah.
One of the bits of information that's floating around is saying that children in primary school today, when they enter the workplace, a third of the jobs that they're going to be applying for don't exist yet. So how are we preparing children for jobs that we don't even know about yet, if all we're doing is focusing on giving them information?
Which is going to be outdated in a couple of years.
And again, information is always retrospective.
Yeah, it's what we know.
It always talks about what we know, not necessarily where we're going to go. So, but if we give skills, if we unschool in terms of the traditional way things are done, give skills and insights so that the children of today, when they leave school, when they enter tertiary education, when they enter the workplace, have the ability to succeed in a space or in an area of spaces rather than answers, to be able to engage with questions
and of not knowing not knowing if there is an answer.
Yeah, totally. And that not knowing is actually okay.
Yeah,
not knowing doesn't make you a failure. Not knowing makes you you're actually not at the start line.
Yeah, and that's quite a scary place for us as adults, because we haven't lived in that kind of world.
No.
We kind of knew what was going to happen next. We knew what the future held. We knew there was a timeline that kind of followed this path.
Yeah.
And now we're setting our children off into the world, and it is a big unknown. It's a little bit like sending the explorers, Christopher Columbus's days, when they went over the horizon where nobody knew what was over that horizon. There be dragons, and that takes bravery and courage.
Yeah, and the flip side is the people who slayed the dragons became the heroes.
Yes.
So
these will be our children.
Totally. And so we have our St. Georges. Those are the children that are alive today, that are going to be moving over the horizon, which is as far as we can possibly see as their parents and as their adults and as their elders. We can't see far enough, and yet that is the world in which they are going to be making a name for themselves, setting down roots,
bringing up families,
slaying dragons. And that's, I think, here be dragons, great analogy. But let's remember that, for every dragon there was a hero in the story.